Greetings, beautiful friends. Happy Monday to you. I trust you had a beautiful, restful weekend and are all ready to immerse yourself in this beautiful week ahead. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in and our inner compass forecast. So with these sessions, as you know, we're going to pull some cards, but the first phase of these sessions, checking in with your inner compass, is to feel into the phases of the moon. This is one of the best ways to really get in touch with your inner compass, your inner wisdom, your intuition. It's always there for us. However, it's so important to really create practices or check-ins or finding your best rhythm and your flow. So before you speak something out, before you make a decision, before you make a choice, it's really important to come back to your authority, your heart's wisdom. And that's the idea of feeling into the energy of the moon. So this week's lunar influence is going to be from the waning crescent moon, which we are already in. We're in the waning crescent phase of the moon, and in a couple of days, on the 14th, it's going to be in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is such a beautiful reminder to aim, to look at what are you wanting to head towards? What do you want to create more of? Is your big, audacious, amazing goals, visions, aspirations? Now, this is not a week of doing, because the other thing, and this is something that I wanted to bring into our conversation today, is I've had quite a few conversations of late where people are experiencing grief, actually experiencing crying or feeling weepy or upset or sad, and then getting upset because they're having this experience. Now, with the waning crescent phase, it's all about letting go. Sometimes when we let things go, it can bring up a bit of sad energy or just feeling discombobulated. And here's the piece that's so important during these times, is to let yourself feel your emotions. Don't go getting into your head and saying, oh my God, why am I feeling like this? And I should be doing this. And I should. Take a deep breath and see, can you come home to yourself? Just breathe. Just do that now. Regardless of where you are or what you're doing, you can do this. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to have the experience of that emotion. When we do that, we find that we don't get all caught up in the busyness and the woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we can sometimes get some intelligence from allowing ourselves to feel those feelings. If you watched these sessions with me before, you know that that's one of my favorite questions. How does this make me feel about me? It's about really getting into the wisdom of the emotion. Now, why I'm kind of underlining this so much is that we're still in a transition phase. Yes, we are in the new year, 2026, but 2025 was the year of the wood snake, and it was all about letting go. And here we are, waning crescent phase of the moon, letting go, sweeping out, ending cycle, releasing, letting go. And 2026, which is not coming in until it's February 17th, I believe, is that year start. So yes, we are in 2026 is a 1 year, new beginnings. With that energy of the fire horse, it's going to be full steam ahead, fast action. But we're in this kind of liminal space that's asking us to just be where we are. And yes, we can get in touch with our dreams and our aspirations, and maybe even get in touch with what is our one word theme. If you want to have some guidance on that, just let me know. And as always, if anything that I say in these sessions confuse you, trigger you, upset you, and you need a wee bit more support or guidance, just put it in the comments below or message me directly, because my mission here is to really help you not only get in touch with your inner compass, but to depend on it, to use it as your navigational force, going forward, making the choices and doing it at the best rhythm for you. So here we are. Now we'll start pulling some cards. Take a deep breath. I trust this made sense to you. Like I said, allow yourself to feel your feelings and don't necessarily get into, oh, I should know better, or I know how to deal with this and yet I'm not doing it. It's okay. Everything is okay. And you are actually in the right place at the right time. All is well. Now, let's start pulling some cards. The first deck we use is my Letting Go guidance system. So I just said, we're still in that vibe of letting go. Letting go of that which is not part of where you're headed, what you want, what is the right place for you. Well, this is a good one. It's competing and comparing. You know, I said a moment ago about coming home. Can you come home to yourself? This is your authority. This is where you want to come to, rather than maybe looking at how other people are speaking or how other people are doing things and saying, oh, well, I need to be doing it that way. So competing and comparing can be such an energy drain. Come home to yourself. Trust yourself. Allow this beautiful wisdom to flow through you. Maybe sometimes you don't have to figure something out. Maybe you just need to surrender to the flow coming through you. And that can sometimes just be the gift itself. So like I said, as we get ready to, next week we're going to be going into the new moon, first new moon of 2026. So you can be gathering some insights as you let go, because that's the end of the past lunar cycle. We're going to step into a new one next week. So that's what I'm saying is not lots of doing, more contemplation, maybe pulling some cards, maybe doing more meditation this week, maybe doing more journaling, things of that nature. So as I was riffing on those ideas, I was shuffling my tarot cards. Actually, this is an interesting one that's come up. It's the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords, swords are to do with thinking processes. So I just said to you that we need to get out of our head and just allow ourselves to feel. So the Seven of Swords is kind of about doing an inventory of the words you use, of the thoughts you use, and letting go, leaving behind the ones that aren't in alignment, that aren't part of your authentic, truthful self. The highest octave, that's something that I've been using a lot in my own practice of late, is I'm calibrating to the highest octave of my soul's essence. Breathe that in. If that resonates with you, take it. Lean on that. Use it. Maybe that's part of the Seven of Swords energy. Letting go of any thoughts that says, well, I have to do it because that person's doing it, or that person's not doing it, so I have to do it. Things of that nature. Letting go. Okay, take a nice deep breath. I was just shuffling the Healing with the Angels cards. Oh gosh. Some of my favorites. Now we've got this one keeps coming up. The first one is romance. Romance, being your own beloved, being kind and loving, coming home to yourself and being kind to yourself. So when you speak to yourself, do you use words that feel uplifting and are kind and loving? And maybe if it's not, maybe it's time to actually start, because this is actually my absolute favorite in this deck, is emerging. So emerging is to do with the recognition that, you know, I said this, the highest octave of your soul's essence. It emerges when you release overthinking or woulda, coulda, shoulda, or why am I feeling these feelings, or how come this keeps coming up? When we put all of that down, we allow that expression of our soul's mission, of the path, of the sacred voice, the sacred expression of you. It's there, always is. allow it to come through. And this is also related to, this is the one that keeps coming up. So that's actually inner child, your inner child. Are you allowing that essence of you to be the guide? Because sometimes when we don't, come into our own heart's wisdom, come home to ourselves, trust ourselves. That's something else that comes up often is, every time we ask a question or we ruminate or we wonder, what's the best decision? What's the best choice? What's the best avenue to go down? The answers are all already there and deep, deep down within you. And you can think of that as your inner child or your inner compass or your inner wisdom or your inner guru. That aspect of you already knows. But your head might not. And so this is a time to calibrate to the, even if your head's going, oh my gosh, I have to be rational about this, I have to work it out, I have to use the right words. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can just allow it to be and trust. Trusting is such an important piece in all of this, because trust says, well, I don't know what the right words are or the right choices, but I trust. Not only do I trust it's there, but I trust I'll recognize when there is something for me to do or act upon. I trust that makes sense. All right, beautiful friends. Like I said, if this is triggering something or bringing things up for you that you need a wee bit more support or guidance, just let me know, because this is intended to help you find your rhythm, your flow, and trust it and depend upon it and know it's there. But we're going to wrap this session up. I'm going to send you off into this beautiful week ahead, beautiful week of letting go, of contemplation, of really allowing yourself rest and nurturing and doing those pieces that I just said, like journaling or pulling cards or just contemplating or going out in nature or just being. Such an important piece in all of this. So now we're going to finish the session off with one of my Liberate Your Inner Truth. And the card that's come up, this is beautiful. It's I Am Soothing. So bringing some of that in that's perfectly aligned with all of this messages about the contemplating and being kind and loving and calibrating to your home, which is here. This is the seat of your soul, is your heart space. And I really encourage you to often come back to that, even if you just need to, oh, thank you, Isabel. My pleasure. It's to come into that and trust it. So let me read this one out to you, and then I'm going to send you off on your way. So I am soothing. To cultivate calm, tranquil, and soothing energy, I regularly place both hands over my heart and seek within. I trust my heart. It knows what I need. Isn't that perfect? That really does sum up what I was just saying to you. Much love to you. I wish you a superb week again ahead. I will be back again with you next week. And like I said, anything you need, just let me know. See you next week. Bye.